Nigeria, the most populous black nation in the world, blessed with abundant natural and human resources, with lush vegetation in the south and a sprawling savanna in the north. With a population of over 200 million people and inland navigable waterways of almost 3,000 kilometers, an extensive coastline of up to 852 kilometers, Nigeria has a great potential in the movement of goods from the coast to the hinterland and other countries by water transportation. 9 of the 36 states in Nigeria border the Atlantic Ocean. This means that Nigeria is approachable to a lot of countries by water and stands to gain a lot with a well-developed water transportation system. In recognition of this advantage, there was an urgent need for massive capacity building in the maritime sector so that the country can take full advantage of this natural endowment. In this regard, the Nigerian government decided to establish an institution that will train seafarers and other experts in the maritime sector. The Maritime Academy of Nigeria, formerly known and addressed as the Nautical College of Nigeria, was established in 1977 by the Federal Executive Conclusion Number EC 77172 with assistance from the International Maritime Organization IMO. It was established as a training institution under the Research and Statistics Department of the Federal Ministry of Transport. It was declared open for classes on the 6th of October 1979 to educate and train shipboard officers, ratings, and shore-based management personnel. The first batch of cadets graduated in 1983. In 1988, the institution was given a legal framework through the then Decree No. 6, and now known as the Maritime Academy Act, that comprehensively documented what the institution stands for, in which the college's mandate was expanded to training all levels and categories of personnel for all facets of the Nigerian maritime industry. The federal government had to site the institution in a coastal town with adequate land. Oron in Akwa-Ibom State was chosen for the project because of its proximity to the sea. The federal government acquired 104,306 square meters of land bordering the Cross River, which leads into the Atlantic Ocean just a few nautical miles away. The institution had over the years been run under the supervision of a rector, who is the administrative head and the management team. The institution since inception has seen the administration of 6 rectors, 1 commandant, 1 administrator, and thousands of cadets and students have passed through the school. Like most institutions in Nigeria, mismanagement and corrupt practices over the years negatively affected every aspect of the institution and brought the once enviable institution almost to its knees. In a bid to uncover the remote cause behind the deterioration in the standard of training and quality of output, the Honorable Minister for Transportation set up a ministerial committee on restructuring and repositioning the Maritime Academy of Nigeria on the 20th of January 2017, headed by Chief Adebayo Sarumi, OFR. Their findings and reports to the federal government of Nigeria led to the appointment of Commodore Duja Efedra, retired, as director on the 5th of September 2017, and the inauguration of the Interim Management Committee headed by Chief Adebayo Sarumi and other members, namely Commodore Duja E. Efedra, rector, Captain Adamu A. Biu, Engineer I. Olu Akinsoji, Engineer Greg Ogbefun, Architect I. Toyo, Mr. Danjuma M. Dauda, Dr. Kevin Okonna on the 6th of September 2017 to revamp the institution and restore its lost glory.
The challenges we faced are numerous, ranging from the quality of lecturers, poor infrastructure, lack of equipment, because in 39 years, the academy never had functional simulators. We have challenges from people who are not part of the academic community, external people, people from the environment, and some politicians who meddle with the activities of the academy. The academy is a school. It's not a business center as it used to be before. It's a school. Picketing a school is wrong. Picketing a national institution in your host community is so wrong.
The institution inherited so many litigations and a huge debt profile, which ran into billions of naira, ranging from staff and contractor claims. However, some of the debt claims were later discovered to be for non-existing projects.
Upon the assumption of office by Commodore Emmanuel Fedua as the rector of Maritime Academy sometime in the month of September 2017, he met a couple of issues which include legal matters. These legal matters emanated from past administration awards of contracts.
For instance, you see contracts that have never existed before, but on paper they exist and they get paid. If you ask them questions, they tell you according to store records, according to procurement records. When you go there and go for site inspection, many of these contracts don't even exist.
95% of matters still pending before the court include matters that are deemed irregular or non-existent.
And these are the same people that will tell you that you must pay them money, that before you came, there has been life here and I cannot come and change everything. And I told them I will succumb to blackmail. If you don't do any genuine work here, you can't get paid. These are the same people that form the cabal. And this cabal, they are struggling in every way to undermine the activities here. But I have petitioned the DSS and the IGP that they should watch out for these people and see how they can bring them under check. Because these are things they've been doing in the past. And we can't continue like that.
You have to give kudos to the rector and his team for how they've managed to stay focused in spite of all the pull downs and the petitions and the delay, the agitation and what have you. And I believe that the ministry has also supported them. We've been able to stand by them and by the decisions that they've taken because it has been in the interest of the country. So they've done a wonderful job. I think the Maritime Academy Oron is one of the successes of this government in the sense that if you look at where it was before, what is achieved now, and what it is in its path to achieve. We're no longer the butt of jokes within Africa.
At a time, the campus of the academy was littered with abandoned projects, unhealthy environment, which houses different reptiles, while basic teaching and learning aids were also lacking. This was despite the fact that aside its budgetary allocation and its internally generated revenue from short courses, the academy is also entitled by law to not less than 5% of the total revenue collected by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA.
NIMASA is responsible for all the courses we do here. They accredit them, not only for us, but for all other maritime training providers in Nigeria. So we rely on them for a lot of things. Apart from funding us, NIMASA offers technical advice and assists us with most of our challenges. And they're collaborating with them has been quite awesome.
The Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, while inaugurating the Interim Management Committee in Abuja, said the level of decay at the Maritime Academy of Nigeria was shameful and that he wanted to be remembered as the minister that fixed the rot. The committee was at the institution for a period of 6 months, after which led to the beginning of the success story the academy has become today.
So when the IMC left in March, the responsibility was now 100% mine. and my own management. So all I had to do was to, bring them on board, make them understand that Nigerians don't care what they feel about each other. Because when I came here, they were not talking to themselves. But now, they talk to themselves, at least to some extent, because they now know that the job has to be done. It's not about persons, but it's about the end state of the federal government and also the mandate of the academy. So what I did was to divide the problems. First was infrastructure. Second one was capacity building. Then the third one was equipment. I think now we have conquered 2.5.
Since assumption of office till date, Commodore Duja Efedwa, through the support of the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, the once dilapidated Maritime Academy of Nigeria received a new lease of life, with abandoned projects revamped and brand new ones commissioned and completed. The school auditorium that was laden with broken tiles, worn-out chairs and faulty electrical system has been completely renovated, fully air-conditioned, and is now a choice location for meetings and all kinds of events. The school library that was lacking in infrastructure and learning resources is now wearing a new look, filled to the brim with books and learning media for cadets to study in a comfortable environment. A world-class information and communications technology center has been installed for cadets to carry out research and findings in their various spheres of endeavor. The classroom blocks that were abandoned have been built and existing ones have been renovated. The classrooms that used to be packed and overflowing have been converted to neat, air-conditioned, smart classrooms that have a maximum of 30 students per class, which makes it conducive and comfortable for cadets of the academy. The nautical building used to be in ancient ruins, but Commodore Efedwa made certain to lift it into the modern edifice that it is today. The ramshackle that was the academic block was not left out from the Renaissance being enjoyed by the Maritime Academy. It was renovated and now rechristened the School of Engineering, complete with all the tools necessary for learning in the discipline. The cadets used to be crammed into hostels in poor state, and now their standard of living have been upgraded by the spectacular rehabilitation of the male and female hostels. A remarkable transformation also took place regarding the parade ground. The once substandard location is now a thing of beauty, as it has now become an imposing landmark in the academy.
This is a school that the other CEOs of the Ministry of Transportation, who have had the opportunity to be there before this administration, when they entered the school, everybody looked at the rector. Oga, where are you getting money that you have transformed this institution? And he chuckled, his usual laughing person, just said, well, the bit we're given, we've been able to turn it into what you're saying.
To further strengthen the structure of the academy, the federal government of Nigeria constituted the 5th Governing Council for the academy, led by Chief Ademola Seriki, to provide the policy blueprint to engender the desired change in the academy. And with the support of the chairman of the Governing Council, the academy experienced magnificent change.
My attitude to life is, any office I occupy, I must endeavor to make it better than I met it. And I'm happy to say that I've accomplished that with my colleagues on the Governing Council and my rector, who is very diversified in everything that he does, and he's very energetic, and he has a drive, he has a zeal, and he has a passion. So my passion plus his passion, honestly, have married effectively well, and this is where we are.
Through its well-articulated policies, the Council has contributed in no small measure to the success story present administration achievements.
Previously, I'm not blaming anybody. We lack maintenance culture. But because of a leader, you can tune to whatever he has in mind. The new management, they believe so much in maintenance culture. When you go around the academy, you see many of the projects being completed and of high standard. And that is one thing I always give to the director about the visionary attitude that he has and the integrity. Look at the auditorium. Many people are doing many occasions there. It's just because the rector was able to achieve this far. And it is of benefit, good benefit to academy. Presently, when you go to the hostel, it's ensuite. Aside from being ensuite, it is one per cadet. It's a plus to the academy and to Nigeria as a nation. Look at the nautical building. Everybody that go to nautical building will just be saying, it's this academy that we know in the past. So he believes so much that we can never leave any project abandoned.
The Honorable Minister for Transportation, Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, while talking to journalists on his last visit to the institution, was full of praises for the rector, Commodore Duja Efedwa retired, who he described as very competent.
It's not even about the achievement. Anybody could achieve that. What worried me is that all this while that this institution was created, why couldn't we achieve what he has achieved? It's worrying me a bit. Because anybody could do that, but it's either commitment and dedication and the fact that nobody is checking them. So I think that the first mistake we should not make is that the Ministry of Transportation must set up machinery by which they monitor their agencies, so that we know what are the objectives, what we set out for everybody to achieve, or what they have set out for themselves to achieve, while the ministry will ensure that it's achieved or sanction those who are not able to attain those successes or achievements. What you're currently having is situations where agencies are performing according to no set standard, just do whatever they like and all that. Some of them are achieving what they plan to achieve, some are not, and all that. But for him, we're full of praises that he's kept to listen.
Books, computers, and smart classrooms for teaching and learning have been provided. Laptops and reference books have been given to the cadets for free to enhance their studies.
For infrastructure, we have the best anybody can imagine. For example, our classrooms are now smart. Hostels now all en suite, 2-to-1, not 18-to-1 like before. Staff quarters, okay. Roads, fine. Power, no problem with that. Because after sunset, solar takes over. So for that, it's gone.
Under the new management, there is a deliberate emphasis on quality of students above quantity. Cadets intake that used to be over 1,800 was reduced to 256 for the 2018-2019 academic session.
Got to a point where they take about 1,900, sometimes 2,000 per stream. And that is actually going to overstretch the infrastructure, including accommodation. And if you check, you will see that some people don't even have where to sit in the classroom. They sit on windows and they just share chairs and so many things. How would they understand? The classes were not air conditioned, so you have to sweat a lot, inhale all kinds of rubbish. Thank God that was not the time of COVID. Well, that's a really disaster. But when the IMO came, the IMO said there's a problem in the maritime world. A lot of people are being churned out of schools all over the world with little ship for salmon, and that is why they have unemployment. The IMO recommended 300 per stream, and we have stuck to that, but people say it's me. Well, I believe in what the IMO has said. Train what you can manage. Give them quality training, not quantitative training, but qualitative training, so that they are marketable when they go outside. If you check the cadets who are turning out now, you cannot compare them with ex-cadets. of before. There are two different sets of people. This one, they have more facilities, they are more focused, and they are more confident.
Currently, we have the School of Nautical Science, the School of Engineering, the School of Maritime Transport Studies, and of course the Specialized Seafarers Training Center. Because of the specialized nature of our institution, you will discover that it has always been very difficult for us to have professional seafarers joining us to come and take teaching job in the academy. Those ones that we have, in most cases, they are old seafarers who have already served on board vessel and have retired. But the current management, in order to bridge the gap in that area, what have been done is to look, while we are looking inward in Nigeria, we also look outside Nigeria by employing competent seafarers. You know, maritime education and training is an international business. So currently we have some Indians who are professional seafarers joining us to beef up our faculties. That is on the area of capacity building. We have also trained those that we have in the system, the younger seafarers. If not because of COVID-19, I think by this year we should have sent some of our younger seafarers also out to be trained. Last year, before the outbreak of the COVID-19, we sent 15 of our staff to India to go and upgrade their knowledge. On the certification, we have rebranded our certificate because in the past we have a situation where our certificates are being forged. But as I'm talking to you now, we have rebranded our certificate with security features to the extent that it is not easy. It is very difficult for anybody to forge our certificate. And apart from that, our certificate can be verified online.
Before now, see that they admit staff in the academy without NYC certificates, without genuine certificates by institutions. Commodore Ifedwa has sanitized the system. Those that are found to have fake certificates, both WAEC degree and NYC, have found themselves out of the academy.
Fire the galley. Put your left leg forward. Up.
The Specialized Seafarers Training Center is the arm of the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, responsible for the training of seafarers, both ratings and officers. The center runs professional training courses for both intending seafarers and those already employed on board ship and in shipping and other related organizations. The center prepares qualified candidates with eligibility certificates from the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, for certificates of competency examinations by the NIMASA itself. Since this administration, 2 survival pools with roof covering have been provided for safety training in the Maritime Academy of Nigeria. It is important to point out here that since the establishment of the academy about 40 years ago, the academy never had survival pools. Rather, a swimming pool was used in town, in Oron town, for survival training. But this administration has yet been able to deliver 2 survival pools for safety training in the academy. Another area of achievement in line with the supply of relevant teaching facilities is the installation of HUET training facilities, where HUET stands for the Helicopter Underwater Escape Training. This facility is being installed in the academy currently and is at an advanced stage of completion. In the area of accreditation, it's also good to note that still within this administration, we have been able to obtain full accreditation for 22 professional training courses for seafarers. If you add the 7 that has been developed recently, that means we have obtained accreditation for 27 mandatory and other professional training courses which are relevant for the certification of seafarers.
In the School of Maritime Transport Studies, we've experienced tremendous changes. Let's start with the infrastructural changes. There has been a lot of remodeling, redesigning. Where we are situated as we speak is what we call the mini auditorium for the School of Maritime Transport Studies. The rector transfigured this place into a 100-seater auditorium meant specifically for the School of Maritime Transport Studies. So the classes have been redesigned. Our classrooms now have public address system. Lecturers no longer have to shout. We have conducive classroom environment, air conditioned, and conducive learning environment. For anyone who aspires to come into the academy, into our school in particular, our school is what we call a double-barrel academic program packaged for cadets so that they can be versatile. Now, for anyone who wants to come into our school, you will need a 5-credit courses to minimum of 2 sittings in English language, mathematics, geography, commerce, accounting, allied courses in the social sciences. Basically, that's what we need, but 5 credits in these areas that we just mentioned now.
The ICT department manages the smart classroom with all the infrastructures installed therein. Besides the smart classroom, we also have the ICT center here, where cadets come for their training and other research. In fact, it will interest you to note that the Academy has a collaboration with the Nautical Institute, and from time to time, cadets come to the ICT Center for their online lectures with the Nautical Institute. Apart from this, we also have the e-library, which is also one of the facilities that was recently provided by the current administration. By that, access to research material has been further made very easy for the cadets as they go in to surf the library and get adequate research materials for their training. Also, I will want to inform you that because of the preparedness of the ICT department, when the entire world, particularly Nigeria, was shut down during the COVID era, the academy basically sent our cadets home, and then it switched into online classrooms. The cadets were taught online real-time, not just online, but online real-time. And because they've been issued with laptops free of charge, it was able to help them participate in these online classes without hitch. And I think before the current administration, the ICT department was more or less moribund, but with the current administration, a lot of efforts have been put in place to ensure that the necessary and requisite professionals and facilities are put in place.
Instructor station, from where the instructor is controlling the exercise. So from here, he is creating scenarios, he is changing the environment and monitoring what the students are doing.
Most significant of Commodore Duja Efedua's infrastructural and learning aids renewal in the academy is the installation of the state-of-the-art simulators. This singular achievement will save the federal government a lot of money hitherto spent sending people abroad. Thus, the academy has been positioned to be a revenue earner for the government and a reference point in the training of seafarers in the region.
We have the full mission bridge simulator now. We have the full mission engine room, and we have the multifunctional classroom. Now, the multifunctional classroom, it's the latest now. Is the latest in the world of simulation, because there are 8 simulators embedded in one.
The collaborations between ARI and Maritime Academy of Nigeria has been with respect to academics, delivery of simulators, and this is the first step towards a long-term relationship. The simulators which has been delivered to Academy are state-of-the-art, advanced, which includes a full mission SMS bridge where we are right now. Then they have advanced DP simulator. Then they have a full mission engine room simulator and high voltage simulator. Then they have a multifunctional classroom where they have a wide range of simulators such as radar and ECDIS, navigation simulator, GMDSS, DP simulator, as well as engine room including high voltage simulator. So that covers a wide range for the Maritime Academy.
Now talking about capacity building, we have trained all those that will maintain these simulators, and with or without the companies that manufactured, our people can run them. For example, our people couple them here by themselves under the supervision of the Indians. We will continue training and retraining until we get it right.
The trainers had been to India. They went over for 1 month of training there on different equipments. So that was the equipment part of training onto the same simulators. So they are well trained. Then apart from that, the IT technical persons had visited India where they were trained onto the maintenance, taking care of this, as well as we have a collaboration over the support for them where we can provide online support. Right now, we are assessing the system from India through the internet, and if there is any corrections to be done, that can be done remotely.
In this full mission engine room simulator, we provide the students a similar situation which they are going to find on board a ship. So all the conditions which they are going to see on board a ship will be here. And the best thing of the simulators is that they can do the experiments, they can change different scenarios, different parameters, and see their effect on board on the machineries, which will help them in learning, so that here they don't cause any machinery damage or no danger to humans. Here it's just a changing parameters and they learn the effects, what it's going to cause on the machineries.
Most of the trainings they normally go and do abroad cannot be done here. For example, if you go for simulation awareness course in Dubai or any other place, between $1,500 and $2,000 per person. You still pay your flight tickets, you still pay for your hotel and other things. So if you check, maybe about $4,000 or $5,000 would have been spent. But if you're going to do it here, you might spend only $1,000. So why would you go abroad for the same thing you can do here, same kind of equipment? So we got the best. Whatever you see here, even some of them don't even have what we have right now. Because in the world, we're about the 6th country to have this type of simulators here in the academy. Like in Africa, we are on top now in terms of equipment because nobody has a multifunctional classroom. And Mauritania just bought a full mission bridge and full mission engine room simulators, but they are smaller versions of what we have. So we didn't want to go for that small one. Let's go for the real thing so that here will be more attractive to generate revenue for us. The international world, the maritime world will know that yes, there's something here in Nigeria. So those of them in West Africa, Central Africa, instead of them going abroad, they may come here. And we're already providing hostels for them, make them like 2-star, where they can come and stay while they're doing their courses. And for the other schools in Nigeria, the maritime training providers who don't have the money to buy simulators, we can accommodate them. When it's time for simulation, they can send their cadets this way. And we accommodate them, give them their training, issue their certificates. But before we start any training, we're going to apply to NIMASA for approval.
Staff of the institution are happy with this development. They now go about their duties with satisfaction and a degree of pride. This sentiment is also shared by cadets of the academy, who now enjoy the use of smart classrooms, good accommodation, free learning materials, and most of all, can have practical experience right there with the simulator.
We're sincerely grateful to the rector for the improved system we now have. Compared to when I came in 2015 as a crab, the system then was not so good as at now. In terms of the accommodation, then we were up to 6 per cabin. But right now, it's just 2 persons per cabin, and that is comfortable. It makes life comfortable, actually.
The sports relating to the cadets has really changed the sporting complex, whereby all the facilities needed for our social life have been really readily available, in the sense that before we don't used to have a long tennis court, good football pitch, table tennis court, and every other sports facilities have been made available.
In 2018, we did a passing out parade and graduation ceremony after more than 6 years that we were able to graduate. Even though the cadets were going out, but we didn't do the graduation ceremony, the certificate were not issued. But upon the coming in of Commodore Evedua, all these were done. We are able to do the graduation ceremony. As I'm talking to you, backlog of certificates have been issued out without much problem. Last year, 2020, we did another graduation ceremony. And one thing that I want to tell you that is a significant also achievement was that the graduation ceremony of 2020, immediately those cadets were graduated, their certificates were given. So all these are achievements of of the current management led by Commodore Evedua.
It's a wonderful day. It's a great day, joyful day for all the cadets. Not everybody that came was able to make it to the end. That is why you see these ones are very joyful, including myself, because yes, it is not easy, but by God's grace, we saw the end and we are happy about it.
First of all, I want to say thank God and thank the rector for giving us this opportunity to graduate within this period of this pandemic.
It is said that a good administrator must have vision and the courage to see his vision turned to reality. He must have integrity and drive. He should also have the skill to manage both man and resources and have the ability to carry the whole team along.
My rector has done very well. I'll give him A+. In the field of among the people who believe in mediocrity, they will embrace failures. In the field of those who embrace merit and result-oriented environment, they will endorse rector. I personally, I will endorse him.
Commodore Duja Efedwa, retired, has exhibited these qualities and more in the discharge of his duties as rector of the Maritime Academy of Nigeria.
Since Commodore retired Efedwa took over, he has expanded this medical center. That now we have a separate apartment for the laboratory unit, separate apartment for male ward, separate apartment for female ward, and private ward that now we can work comfortably. We have enough space to work, and not just enough space, comfortable space. That laboratory unit I mentioned is well furnished. In the time past, they didn't even have enough space, not to talk of being equipped, but today they have enough space as laboratory unit and it is well equipped. We used to have problem if we have emergency because of lack of ambulance, but today we have 2 sound ambulance buses for emergency cases, and we run 24-hour service in health services. There is no hour of the day you come here without seeing people on duty, doctors inclusive. So in terms of emergency, we are well equipped.
Little wonder then that those that did not know where to place him when he resumed duties are the very ones agitating for him to stay on for a second term in office.
When I first came on board, they were jittery. Don't blame them. Jittery not because they were afraid of me, no. They were afraid because they don't know anything about me, and they know where they are coming from, that the academy had collapsed, and they wanted somebody who would come here and solve the problem. So the first thing that will come to their mind is, hey, we know somebody who's competent somewhere. They meant well. When I came, I was a strange fellow from out of the box. But with time, They engaged me, we kept talking, and they realized that there was some substance in me, and they started gradually giving me a chance to prove myself. And they asked me how much time do I need. And I told them, give me 12 months, they will see changes. Now this is the third year now, they are clamoring I shouldn't go. The same people, because they have seen that we brought value. But then I couldn't have done it all alone. I have my staff who have also supported us to come to this level. So the relationship with them is fantastic. They have been very supportive too. They've opened their facilities to us. They employ our cadets. They offer ideas. And some of them even come here to see things for themselves. Like the master mariners, they've been here about 3 times alone in the last 2 months, just to be sure that things are moving the way they are supposed to move. So we are grateful for their support. Internationally, the IMO donated some books to us recently, and some other organizations have promised to do something too, because they are beginning to see that we are doing fine.
The Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron, has witnessed remarkable change, and Nigeria is the better for it.